All right. Hey, everybody. As you begin to come in on tonight, let me adjust my volume right quick. Tonight, we're going to have such a serious talk about domestic violence. And as you come in tonight, I need you to open up your heart and your minds and realize that at some point in our lives, we've been a bully or been bullied. And if you've been bullied, that you may have turned into a bully. Um, so tonight we're going to jump in and talk about some things that are very dear to some people's hearts. Some people tonight are going to expose some things that happened to them. We try our best not to call names. If a name should slip, I can't go and like get rid of it. Y'all know how we do on Truth Feels Hurt. But we do our best not to call names. And we do our best not to disrespect anybody. If you are listening to the show and you know that we're talking about you, let me go ahead and do my disclaimer. You have the right to come on Truth Heals Hurt and tell your side of the story, but there will be no foolishness on this evening. Amen. And
Amen.
Amen.
because when we talk about stuff like this, people come all out the woodworks talking about that ain't how that really happened. Okay, y'all know in Truth Is Hurt, we don't do that over here. So we want to help somebody heal, and we're going to help them through our process, our problems, and our stuff. Tonight, I'm coming to you as an abuser and an abusee, if that's such a word. Because I was abused, I became an abuser. I'm gonna get you before you get me. When my guests introduce themselves, please let us know if you are both, one, or the other. All right, we're gonna start tonight. Arlene, would you tell us, introduce yourself, and then tell us whether you're coming on the show as abuser, abusee, or both? Yes, for Arlene. Can you hear me, Arlene?
I think she muted. Look like she muted.
Oh, sure. Okay. So, Sharita, you go first then.
I'm Sharita,
Yeah.
and I
Sorry, I
am.
can hardly hear. I think my connection is kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's a little delayed.
So, hey, everybody. My name is Ireland Johnson. It's a little delayed. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm. But you can keep
My
going.
name is
It'll catch
Ireland
up.
Johnson, and I'm a domestic violence survivor.
Okay. Sharita.
I can't hear you.
I'm Shar- okay. I'm Sharita Farrell, and I'm both a abuser and abusee.
Okay. D.
My name is Dee, and I'm a survivor.
Okay. And Sean.
So I'm Sean Mullins. I'm an abusee and an abuser.
Right. And the reason why we're coming to you, letting you know what we are, is because we got this way some type of way. Okay. So those of you that are survivors, I want to commend you on hanging in there and not giving up. There are a lot of people that were abused that are suicidal, that no longer get into relationships. They still live in fear. They still have a lot of issues and stuff that they have to deal with. I think the way that I healed from my abuse, from being a person that had to survive it, is that I became one, because I felt like that was the best way for me to protect myself. I don't have like a good reason to be knocking people upside the head, but that was good enough reason for me at the time. All right. All right. If you all would come in now and give me just a little snippet of your situation. And I want to talk more on the abuse side first, and then I'll come back to those of us that turned into those type of people. Or if you was that type of person at first and then end up getting it later on, then just let us know. I'm going to start with Sean. Sean, would you give us a little snippet of, let us see inside of yours before we just really get into the meat of this?
So I was in a relationship for 4 years, and in the 4 years that I was in a relationship, he decided to put his hands on me on in the majority of the years that we were together. and I never got to the point to where I would ever do anything. I wasn't the type to stop it. I didn't tell anyone. Didn't go to anyone and say, "Hey, this is what's going on." I didn't show it to anyone. I just kept it quiet. One of the biggest things was, I think, with me, I kind of was an antagonizer because I just smiled. Because I guess he thought he was more of a man about it because he wanted to do it and feel in control. And I wasn't going to give him the control I just smiled at him. And, he actually, at one point, I passed out. And that's when that's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay.
Because if I had had my weapon if I'd have had my gun with me, it would have been a completely different story that time.
Okay.
Because he would have never made it.
Because that particular time you was ready to fight.
I was done.
Okay. All right, D, your turn.
You said D?
Yes, D. Yes.
Okay. My story is not just one particular person, it was multiple. So I think that I fell into multiple situations off of one situation. Mine was the first time it was verbal, and then it became when you're not sure, when you're not aware of what's going on. It became a place of control where they isolate you, and now they have full control to do, say, whatever they feel, when they feel, how they feel, and you're so controlled that you don't know that this is what's going on. So you've isolated yourself from family, you've isolated yourself from friends. You don't go anywhere. You shut down. The hits happen. You don't say anything. You just, put your little makeup on. Like you say, you're going to get into the meat of things, but that's just a synopsis of the things that I've been going through that has transpired even up until the last 2 months ago, which when I say I'm a survivor, I'm a survivor.
Wow. Sharita?
I have been in similar situations as, with D, and it, started off maybe verbal, and then it escalated. And then it escalated to the point where I fought back.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we talk about these things, what makes we can't speak for the person that's doing the abusing right now. We don't speak for people that getting abused. What makes us stay in these type of relationships where we're being abused? We know that it's wrong. We know that nobody has any business putting hands on us, first of all, right? It doesn't feel good. So we can't say that it didn't hurt us because it hurts. You know what I'm saying? So what made you all stay in, and welcome back, Arlen. We're going to join you in just a second. What made you stay in a relationship when you know you wasn't being treated right?
I think the embarrassment of it, the shame, of letting somebody know, that kind of thing.
Okay. D, you was going to say something?
For me, I can say no matter how many ways I tried to dissect it and break away from it, it was always a financial thing for me.
My grandmama used to say to me, it was a hard pill to swallow, but she said that you would rather have somewhere to stay instead of have a better environment to live in. Like you would rather die staying somewhere than to get out and live. That's how she broke it.
That's facts, Grandma. That's facts.
Yeah. So
And
we, you put yourself. So Arlene, would you share with us right quick what your domestic violence situation was? Like just a little snippet of what yours was like.
Mine was pretty much, pretty much rooted and grounded in the church. So everything surrounded around church stuff. Whatever he wanted to do, it was very controlling. Physical, sexual, financial abuse, everything.
Yes, control. I want to say, hey everybody. First of all, I didn't speak to y'all when we started because I really wanted to jump into this because we don't have Miles is asking what the show is about. Tonight, Miles, we're talking about domestic violence. Keep your hands off of me. We have people on the show tonight. I want to address Miles' question because I don't want him to think we're ignoring him. But Miles, our program tonight is about abuse. And we're going to find out tonight that there are more than one way to abuse somebody. So sorry, we didn't mean to ignore you. Thank you to everybody that's helping us right now. Dee Dee, I want to bring out, she said, I've been in a domestic violence relationship, but I didn't fight back. I thought it would add fuel to the fire, and I stayed so long because I had no escape. And that's a lot of people. So anybody else agree with that on the show?
Yes.
That you didn't have nowhere else to go or anything else to do?
Yes.
Definitely.
And so does anybody feel like their family members would have done something to help them if they had said something?
I wouldn't let mine.
Okay.
I said something, and all they said was, "Don't let nobody take away where you have to lay your head."
Okay. And y'all, that's why I changed.
Anybody in my family?
Yeah. Repeat that, Arlene. I'm sorry. I think I was talking over you.
I never told anybody. My sister knew a little bit, but I really never told my family, my parents, because I knew they would just come and get me. I was very ashamed, so I never told anybody.
Yeah.
So y'all, tell me what it was inside of you. I'm letting y'all talk. I do have my own answers. But what were you ashamed of? The fact that you let somebody beat on you, or the fact that you were being beat on?
With me, I would say I was ashamed because of the fact that I grew up in a domestic violence situation.
So you thought it was normal?
Cycle, yeah.
Okay, this is what you get. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Sean?
That I didn't love him enough to let him go.
Okay. What about you, Arlene?
I think I felt ashamed because it was my second marriage and I would be failing again. So I didn't want to, be a failure in that.
Right. Okay, Dee?
I think for me, because I was brought up to be this tough, strong girl that fight back, talk back, and just the mere fact that I couldn't fight back and talk back to these guys, it was the judgment, from just family and friends, because this big bad D, but I can't beat him.
And Dee Dee is helping us from the other side. She, the question, Dee Dee, was what made, us be ashamed, pretty much. Like, we were the ones being beat on. We were the ones being, abused, but we were silent. Like the person that was doing, she got it. Okay. My next question to you is this. How much is too much? Like, how long did y'all stay in these abusive relationships?
4 years.
Okay.
I don't have a number.
Almost 10 years.
It was just years. Yeah.
Yeah, years.
Jesus. Sharita,
I say years. It was like off and on.
do you
Often.
feel like you still should be like? Would you tolerate it now?
Oh
Absolutely not.
no, that's how I became the abuser because I fought back.
That's me. So that's
Fought
why
back,
I'm being
and,
quiet right now.
and he realized I'm just as crazy as you are. You know.
Yeah, I snapped. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
talk.
think
I'm
that's
gonna
what it
talk
was.
toward the second half of the show because
Yeah.
I went left. Like I stopped all that right there. Like I was the generational curse breaker of that there. Because that's gonna be the end of this. One of us gonna die because I had gotten too much. Like that's how I literally in my
I
mind
agree.
said somebody got to go, and it can't keep being like this because I
Yeah.
felt like it was like every relationship that I was getting in.
Mhm.
It just
Yeah.
seemed like I couldn't break the cycle. Um, my next question for you all is, what type of abuse did you deal with? And sometimes people think that it's just putting hands on, but people can physically abuse you, emotionally abuse you, mentally. There are several kinds, and I'm gonna call those out because I want to make sure I give you, educate you at the same time. So give me what type, and we'll just go and y'all go for it. I ain't gonna call out your names this time. So somebody give me your types, the types of abuse you endured.
So for me, I was emotionally abused, physically abused, mentally abused, financially abused, um, just all the abused.
Yeah.
Amen.
Okay. Sean, same.
The same. He broke me in every way. I mean,
Yeah.
Arlene, what about you?
It's financial, emotional, sexual, um, everything.
Yeah. Sharita.
Yeah, everything is
Then I said, oh, Jesus.
yeah, all it starts off like emotional, uh,
Hmm.
and then it gradually escalates and stuff.
Yeah, because you let the people get away with stuff, they just
Yeah,
add to it. Yeah.
yeah.
Y'all, I get real emotional talking about this. I'm trying to hold myself over here because my mama went through abuse. I remember them telling me that my grandmama had to deal with some abuse. I remember for me, I think what broke it for me was the fact that I thought about the fact that my mama had been abused and my grandmama, and I was like, it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop with me. Like, and then my daughter just shared with me about a couple of years ago that she was in a relationship, and I'm telling y'all, I almost lost my mind to know
Mhm.
that my daughter, who was in college dating somebody,
huh?
this man in college thought, this young boy thought he was supposed to put his hands on my daughter. And so she said that she did not call us, not because she didn't think we would come. She knew we was coming.
Yeah,
Like she
Right.
knew we was coming and we wasn't gonna care about that was somebody's son until after. So she knew it. So she felt like because she got herself in a situation, she
She
should
had to
try
get
to
herself
handle
out.
the situation, yeah, by herself. And when I tell y'all that did something to me, I want to add what some of the people are saying. Didi said 3 years, and I started having these ill feelings. And one night I had enough and packed some of my clothes and left him with everything in the house. Yeah, I feel you on that, and nowhere to go. I definitely depended on God that night. Our friend Trina said all for her. She dealt with all types of abuse. Miss Melson is really helping us tonight. Thank you. I'm not ignoring you. Just trying to stay focused, but I thank you tonight for helping us because she's really giving us some good pointers and tips. She says, knowing your worth, they only do what we allow, and that's the truth. Because most bullies are punks, and folks don't realize that about them. Most of them are punks. If somebody else came and did to them what they were doing to us, they would not be able to take or handle that. And do y'all have anything to say about that?
With mine, I disagree.
You
He
think
was
he?
not a punk. He he was not a punk. He stood up to whomever. I seen him beat up somebody daddy in the middle of the side on the middle of the road. He was not a punk. He was
Well, I
just a
don't
big
mean that way.
bully.
So let me clear
He was
that
a
up.
bully. He was a
Right.
big bully.
But bullies, I'm telling you, there is some reason why they feel like they have to control. And that's what I mean. There's a reason why he lets that side of him override
I wonder.
his regular,
Mhm.
or is that his personality? He never been like, something is making him be that type of person with these different folks.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, you ain't gonna, that's why I said we can't answer for them. But I'm telling you, if they go to counseling or if they seek help, is they're gonna tell them that there's an underlying issue that they have that causes them to be this type of way. And when you get to that underlying issue and address that, they're gonna break down.
Yep.
Because there is a reason that he's like that with people.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
you may not feel like it because you are being attacked in probably a whole different level of
Right.
whatever from him, right? But there is an underlying issue in them, and just like with me, and I can speak for this, as a person who began to fight, my underlying issue was I'm not going to be attacked no more.
Mm-hmm.
Then that means that the next person I get in a relationship with, whether you attack me or not, say something wrong and I'm responding. Do something wrong and I'm responding. Like I didn't wait on the ex, you know what I'm saying, to do something mean to me. I was then gonna jump in front of it. Sharita, since you were abuser, Sean, since you were abuser, do y'all feel that way? Like you got to a point where you're not gonna wait on the person to do something to you. You're just gonna do what you gotta do.
Absolutely. That's how it was like when it got to that final point where I did. It was like, I'm not gonna keep doing this, whether it was verbally, emotionally, financially, whatever, or physically. I'm not finna keep going back and forth with you doing this. It was just one day it was like I snapped. It was like we was fussing over some gas money or something. He pushed the money in my in my face or something, and then I end up reaching in my console. I had a box cutter, and he wears a scar on his hand right here today. And that's when we decided, this is not good for neither one of us. We don't need to be here, together if we're gonna be hurting each other. And that's just the bottom line. You go your way, work on you, and I go my way, work on me. And that's where I'm at. But no, like you said, it's always underlying issues.
It's something. I'm telling you, it's something. And most of us, we don't get to know what the something is. Like for me and my husband, Reggie, I had to tell him what the underlying issues were. I had to tell him what would provoke me to anger. I had to discuss it. People don't talk about that stuff. We all have a point where we're not going to deal with something, or we're going to deal with something, or whatever. We all have that. So Dee said, and I think Arlene, both of you were just on the one side. You were both survivors of it.
Right.
Okay. But at any point, did you fight?
I tried.
Arlene?
I tried as well. I tried to fight. It didn't.
And where
it didn't
where happened when you fought back?
For me,
Yeah, both of y'all.
when I fought back, I pretty much got beat down worse.
Like Dee Dee said,
It just became an even worse situation. Like,
Okay, Dee.
it just got worse if I tried to fight back.
Yeah, because I think fighting back was pouring fuel into the fire. I had a patch pulled out of my hair. I was thrown down the stairs, body slammed on the car. So fighting back it's almost like don't fight back and it'll be over quicker. Like just be still and just let it just be over. So
And so when y'all just because this part I cannot answer for nobody. Like y'all will have to answer this yourself. So this happened one time or happened more than one time, and you just kept telling yourself something. What?
it happened more than one time in different relationships. For me, I don't know what you tell yourself at that time. You just know you just want it to be over. It's the afterthoughts that kind of break you down for me.
So did you think he was gonna change? What made you stay there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I
The-
guess
the-
what I'm saying is after the abuse, because you've been hurt now. You're not sitting there like, you know, a little patty cake. You know what I'm saying? You've been hurt.
Well, right. The first couple times, it was, my kids, they got to go to school. They paying for this, they paying for that. They doing travel this, they doing travel that. They in dance, they this. It was more the financial part as to why I stayed. But don't let your kids see this, and you just put up with it. And then once my kids got grown, the last time that it happened, I just walked away from the house, from everything, and I just had to start over. It was so bad, I ended up in a psych ward. So that was my breaking point, and it's like it has to be enough, because it's either going to be a life or death situation for me at that point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, what was too much?
The breaking straw was when I realized that, I finally told him that your parents are about to pick you up in a body bag.
Okay,
Wow.
so you just snapped like Sharita did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Arlene?
it's best that you go.
Yeah. What you do, Arlene?
I think my breaking point was when he started abusing my son. I came home one day and my son was being literally kicked. He was balled up on the floor, and my husband was kicking him. So that was my breaking point. That was when I left.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
See, the reason we're having this show tonight, because we want y'all to realize this stuff is real, first of all. But we want you to realize also that it's a lot of healing has to take place in people who have been abused and beat. And the way I healed is not going to be something I suggest to anybody. I wouldn't suggest it. I would suggest that people go get real help. I'm talking about yes. I'm talking with a professional, paid, not your friend, not your, somebody who been through it too. And they because it's not the same. It affects people in a different way, and everybody's affected.
Right.
For me, if my daughter had told me, like I said, that somebody put hands on her, I'm on some other stuff, like at that point. If I had watched the guy and I went through what Ireland said, I promise you something would have happened to occur a different way, because mentally I was not in a situation where I could just talk about it no more. That's how bad. My stuff started out as a teenager, and I had a boyfriend who thought he could slap me around, and he thought that was all right. I went that particular day because I was raised with my mother, who was, like I said, abused. So I didn't ask nobody. I started trying to figure out, okay, how it weighs, even as a teenager. So I remember I went in the house and got my daddy's shotgun. And in my mind, this is what I'm supposed to do, because you put your hands on me, because I've already seen what my mama has gone through. I've already seen, so I'm not going to go through this. I've already seen my mama or heard the stories of her being pregnant and being abused, and I'm not going to let it escalate to where you feel like you can keep doing this to me, right? But then there are some people who say, like our guests, that say, I kept doing it. I kept getting beat up. I kept getting abused. I kept being mistreated, and I stayed there. I don't really know what that feels like, because you got just one time in my mind. Like, once I see that it's coming out of you, then I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. Anybody got something to say to go with that line? Like, some of you responding different now, or some of y'all still, like, just tell me where you are.
Princess.
Mentally.
Well, I think, one of the reasons why I stayed for like 10 years of my life is because I was dealing with low self-esteem. I was dealing with depression. I was dealing with a lot of different things within myself.
Thank you, ma'am.
And so that day when my son was being kicked, it triggered something in me. And it was like I wasn't even thinking about myself. It was, as long as it was my kids, you know, hands down, I gotta go. But I realized something within that, like, you know, that I was dealing with some stuff within me. And there was some brokenness within me from my childhood that I hadn't dealt with, which was one of the reasons why I felt like I stayed so long. Just low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, a lot of different things that I was dealing with within myself before I even got into that relationship. And so after getting out, you know, I had to see myself, like God showed me the mirror, and I had to start dealing with me. And me and my kids had to go to counseling. I had a defects case going on because I had to call the police on him. And I'm still in counseling now.
Yeah, they'll take your kids from
not
you.
for
You
that,
can
you know, my son.
Yeah.
I am still in counseling. Yeah, I'm still in counseling now. My children are still in counseling. My son has PTSD from that. So it's an ongoing thing. It's self-love. You know, that's what I got from it, is that I have to consistently find that self-love within myself every day. So.
D, what about you?
I agree with that, what she said, because I ended up suffering with depression. I actually have PTSD, take pills, medicine for that, which I haven't taken in a while. And I do have anxiety now. It had gotten to a place, you know, when you hear those small noises, you jump. But I'm to a place now. Once I walked away, well, actually, I would go back further. The first of the year, you know how you just get tired, and you know, like they say, like the elders say, a dog know when it's tired of being kicked. You know, I knew I was tired, and this was like, I needed to get out of this. So I think Sharita and I was having a conversation, and Sharita's very convincing. She know how to convince you on a lot of things. Right. And she has a way of letting me see I'm wrong because I get defensive. And I can admit that. But it's almost like mirror, mirror, right?
Yeah.
So I had to take what she said, and it ate at me. And I went and I prayed. I was like, okay, God, if somebody else see it, that means it's visible. So I was like, I need you to shift some things now, because it has either I'm going to die here, this man gonna take me out here, or I want to live for my kids. And I suffer from lupus, so it's only so much that I can do. First of all, because of my body. So I was like, God, I need a shift. And Sharita kind of helped me get to that place. She don't know that.
Well, praise the Lord.
But you know, they say when you pray for a shift, it's never comfortable. And it got real uncomfortable, to the place where it was unsettling. And my mama, I was telling my mom about it, and she said, okay, so God getting ready to move, so don't get comfortable, because it's going to be uncomfortable. And it got uncomfortable to the place where I could actually hear, it was like somebody was in my ear saying, you can stand, you can do this. Because I didn't know how to stand on my own, and I didn't know how to do it by myself, because I was financially leaning and depending on him. So it was almost like somebody was in my face saying, you got this, I got you, like, you can stand, you can do this. And I'm in my own place, I'm standing by myself, I'm in my own skin, I'm there. I go through therapy. I'm still in therapy. I don't think I want to stop that quite yet, because I still, twitch and jump with the different noises.
Well, that's I'm gonna just tell you that you got to learn how to adapt to it. I'm telling you now that I can't deal with people closing doors, slamming them. I can't deal with people raising their voices. I think people are getting ready to argue when they raise their voices. I think like it's about to be something. But I don't try to get rid of it. Like I used to work so hard to get rid of it. It comes and it goes. But I'd rather have that than to be jerking from somebody hitting me. I'd rather do it thinking something is going to happen than something really, happening. I want to say this. Y'all, and this is for everybody, and I'm gonna read some of these comments, y'all. We got a lot of people helping us tonight. It's sad as to how many people has been abused. Like, this is really sad. And I thank y'all for being the parts, people come on the show and talk about it, because we have a difficult time with people voicing, their opinions about it. But
yeah,
self-love, what Irene said, self-esteem, and all that, I don't care what nobody says, plays into what we deal with, what we take, how much we care about ourselves, what we think about ourselves. And because let me tell you, I know some people who have very low self-esteem that are deceased now because they didn't get out. I got a prayer request last month for a girl that was cut up with a machete and left to die, but God saw fit.
Right. Amen.
And they put her arm back on, and now they are going through different series of surgeries, all because I don't know where to go, or I don't know what to do, or he's paying the bills and I don't have no other way. I tell people I will stay in my car now. I would have to, you know what I'm saying? I would have to, because I know now that this leads to much more than just a financial stability. You know what I'm saying? This leads to more, yes, than me having somewhere to lay. I couldn't even go to sleep next to somebody that I would think that would kill me in the middle of the night. They don't love you if they put their hands on you. I don't care what nobody says. You can't convince me. You can't tell me that I did something to make them do that. You cannot tell me that, because that is not the truth. People that do this stuff, they do this stuff because, first of all, they're being used by the devil. I don't care if nobody don't believe that. The enemy uses them. Some of these people are demon possessed. I'm telling you. They allow the enemy to use them in a way, and then that doggone devil leave they behinds after they don't abuse it. Then they go to talk about they sorry, and they and I love you, and I would never do nothing to hurt you. You just upset me sometimes, or you just get me so bent out of shape. Like, I wish you would love me the way that I need you to love me. I wish you would say what I need you to say. Like, y'all give me some things to help some other people, some words that you heard that didn't make no sense.
Now, I was gonna say, like, as far as like, I see a lot of people talking about like the self-worth and stuff. I'm pretty sure like a lot of us, whether it was a relationship or a marriage or whatever, when you first got into that, you knew who you were. It just come a point to when you enduring that abuse, whether it's mental or emotional, financial, whatever, it breaks you down. And then especially like if it like breaks down to where like you do lose yourself, and it's not I wouldn't necessarily, well, yeah, you lose some of yourself, because I'm saying like in the beginning, you know your worth, you know who you are. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like going through this cycle, you broke down, so that kind of like deter you away. And then also, as you were saying, like the excuses come, and then you might be in this relationship that it can work, or it might be a marriage, I'm here because I'm holding on to my vows or whatever, and they apologize and they this and that, and all of that. So all of that like plays a role in it. So that's why it's very important to seek out the counseling, then actually think, because like once I became, fighting back and became an abuser myself, and like, I'm gonna hit you before you hit me type of thing. It was like, you have to think about what is causing this. You know what I'm saying? You have an underlying issue to where, okay, because like with me, I have a mouth on me. I had, and I would get back with you. I'm gonna say what I want to say. You're not gonna say it with me. You understand, Sean?
Amen.
Like, yeah. So, and it's like, whether you're not real, you probably wasn't even an aggressive kind of talking person, but that was your defense mechanism to get, if y'all was in a verbal confrontation, you would try to, defend yourself.
Listen, Sean, I'm gonna hear from you second. Listen, y'all know I'm truth feels hurt. Y'all know I tell y'all the truth. When Reggie and I first got together, we were going up the expressway to go home, and I hit Reggie I took my hand
I
and
hope he put you out the car.
no, he put me out the car, Sean.
He should.
But I knew then I needed help.
Yeah.
See, I thought I had been healed. I thought I had been delivered. I thought that, Jesus had saved me and drenched me, with his precious blood. And that's all I needed. And you know what I'm saying? And that's all I needed. And then I was going to be fine and everything was going to be fine. And something Reggie said to me in that car as we were riding, I lost it. I actually almost jumped out of the car while the car was moving. I was that angry. What he said, y'all, I can't even tell y'all. I don't even know. Like what he was doing or something. I can't even tell y'all. I remember though, I said, God, I need some help. And on my way to Atlanta that day, I kept crying and I couldn't stop crying because I was like, Lord, I need some help. Because I don't want this on me. Because that spirit I felt like had transferred to me to where I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. Like I gotta fight my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody coming at me and I'm gonna fight everybody. And if you say something to me sideways, I'm gonna fight. So any of y'all deal with the fact that you want to hit somebody now, like you want to do something to somebody, like you feel like you owe somebody something.
I don't go through that, no.
Okay, good. Praise the Lord. Well, I'm saying, praise the Lord. I told that because I want people to know that some of us respond differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I shut down.
Yeah.
I
And then Sharita, I'm a vocal person, so
Yeah.
anybody else vocal? Like you might not hear them, but you got something to say.
Yeah.
I just be quiet. I ain't got nothing
Quiet.
to do with him.
Okay, so you and D in the same basket. What about you, Arlene?
I was more of a quiet person, whenever it was going, I literally would start painting or drawing while he was having a fit, and then it would just get into physical. But I wanted to say something about the underlying thing you were talking about, the underlying issue.
Okay.
I think, I can't speak for him, but one of the underlying issues that was going on when I was in my marriage was the fact that I believe in my heart that he was bisexual. And because of that, we were like this cover-up family.
Yeah.
And he would get angry. Yeah, it was like he would get angry at me if I asked him why was he arching his eyebrows or why was he putting eyeliner certain places where, women stuff. And so it would break out into an altercation because I asked you about your eyebrow. And or you would ask for things sexually that were like questionable to me, and it would end up into an altercation. So the underlying issues was like, it was just really crazy and weird, for 10 years of my life. And I had to live that, and I was just embarrassed of that, like my husband is dipping on the other side, and I'm the cover-up family. So I don't know. I still kind of get weird out.
Trina said something Trina said silence is loud. I had to learn that. I didn't learn that at first because you said something to me, I'm gonna say something back to you. Then you said something to me, I'm gonna say I got something else to say. As long as you got something to say, I got something to say. You know what I'm saying? And there were some times. Now I've matured and I feel like God has worked on me. To now I don't have a lot to say. I really don't. Like, even with the arguments and stuff, like if Reggie and I disagree about something, I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to provoke anything, and I'm not going to entertain something that I don't agree with, but I do know that when, in my younger days. But do you all agree that some of this was what we saw? And like Sharita already said it, but I thought that abuse was something that women had to deal with or something, because people was telling my mama to stay in the relationship, and Jesus gonna save him, and Jesus gonna make him right, and all of that.
You pray for him.
Yeah, did y'all feel like the person you was with gonna change just because you was praying or something? Was you trying to stay in there till he changed or she changed or whatever?
Some parts of you say this will stop. It'll get better. They'll figure it out. They really love me on the inside because I know. But I wasn't brought up in my family in a I didn't see violence.
Did you know that man was violent, D? Or he just changed into that?
He sent his representative and did what he had to do. And once he got you to where it needed to be, it was you were already in too deep.
Oh, okay. So he just loving on you and all of that stuff.
He showed up and showed out. Yes.
Yeah, all of that. And so now you're in love and you caught up. And so now I got a grip on you.
Ching,
Who that sound like, y'all? Who that sound like? The devil. Who that sound like? Yeah.
The devil. That's what it is.
Yeah. Slick, enticing, and give you all of that stuff.
Well, I can tell you, I was broken spiritually.
Okay, I do know that about Sean. Sean's my brother, y'all.
So, I mean, that was one of the biggest things with me. Being gay, I was already broken spiritually.
Right.
With everything, being gay anyways, and then going into a relationship, being spiritually broken, and then dealing with his nonsense and trying to figure out, about God and everything. That was a really dark spot, and not being able to see a light. And then when I told that man that you might want to leave because your mom and dad about to pick you up in the morgue. That's when I saw the light.
Okay.
So,
Tamika said, "What triggers you to get defensive?" Oh, it don't take much. I've been saying you now, but it didn't take much. When you're abused, it don't take a whole lot. Like for you, like. Well, maybe D might be different. D, anything trigger you to get fired up? Nothing.
I mean, I'm fired by nature.
No, she walking in the whole Holy Ghost. You see what I'm saying?
No, I wasn't.
Yes,
I wasn't always where I am, but I was brought up in the church. I was brought up, turn the other cheek. That's just how my family was. And even though they were that loving family or whatever, in all my mess, I still didn't feel like I can go to them. So I mastered the art of shutdown.
Okay. I thought one day, y'all, I sung on the praise team, and the children's daddy, the boys' daddy. And I had got to fighting before church because he went to talking to me stupid. And so I got to fighting with him before church. And then I got on the praise team, y'all, and you could see my knuckles like I had cut. And I'm just rocking with the mic. Yeah, I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm rocking with the mic and stuff. And I said, girl, you were crazy. You got to get some help, Princess. Because I was so comfortable in stupid relationships. I was so comfortable in dumb. Sean was there. I was so comfortable in dumb relationships that I learned how to function in dysfunction.
Yeah, that's how it is. Function and dysfunction. That's a mouthful.
I had a degree in functioning in dysfunction. I think other people would have put bandages on their hand. Other people probably would have tried to cover or at least held the mic like this. Like cover up your hands and don't let the people see. Some people put makeup on. If I got to fight, honey, I just went just like that. Let everybody ask me what happened so I can tell them about that little ratchet thing that I live with. Cheat with everybody. And then let his mama, who is the mother of the church, let her explain it that her son is crazy and I hear cheat with all these people. Like, that's how crazy I was. Because I was sick of it. I was just really sick of it. I was like, y'all got to know I'm going through some stuff. Y'all sit up here grinning in my face, and y'all see I'm crying, I'm miserable, You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
struggling. You got to be picking up something. Y'all don't think you felt nothing about what you was going through?
Some people don't know how to approach it.
So I think that's bad, don't y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in trouble, you just gonna watch me die.
Well, I think it goes back to when I first came on your broadcast, you guys were talking about molestation.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were talking about sweeping things under the rug.
That's it. Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
That's where I want to go.
And yeah, and it's still to this day things are being swept under the rug. So you're getting abused, but we're gonna sweep it under the rug. We're gonna that's not happening. So yeah, it's theirs, and people don't
And
know how
some
to address
people
it.
have died though, sweeping under the rug, y'all. It's
Yep.
some
Right.
funerals of some children who mamas knew that they was getting abused, and we ignored this stuff. Like I thank God for Diane. When I finally, I made up in my mind. I said in 2 weeks I'm gonna be gone. I don't know if Sean remembers this, but I was like, in 2 weeks I'm gonna be gone. And this was right before I met Sean, so he probably don't. But I made up in my mind, I'm gonna survive. I'm not gonna deal with this. And Sean will tell y'all, we will be at work, and if he had $5, then we gonna eat off the $5. If I have $5, we gonna eat off the $5. Like I'd rather be here. I walk to work.
Yep.
I did what I had to do because I'm not gonna stay in these relationships where people don't appreciate you in the first place. All they want to do is have sex with you. Then they bring these other foul spirits into your relationship by bringing other women into these relationships. These women think they don't won the lottery with this old broke down person that's coming in here to be no me, but they being nice to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You up here grinning because you think you don't want you somebody, and this person is abusive. And then we'll go out there trying to fight these silly people for these people that don't mean us no good. Sharita, you laughing? Am I right?
No, because you're telling the truth.
Telling the truth.
We're out here
truth.
ourselves. No, we ain't got ourselves nothing.
They
We
would
ain't
do
got
it.
nothing.
Yeah, you're right though.
They would do that.
It's something mental going on with us, and that's what I wanted to get to. Like we gotta love ourselves more to go get us some help. You know what I'm saying? Because okay, I'm being beat on. Then he bring women by the house. He put women in the car, and then I want to go out there and fight them. No, put your hands on the joker that brought the people over here, Princess. That's why I like.
Yeah.
What's going on with you? Like I was outside arguing with some lady about a piece of nothing at the time. He might be saved, sanctified, delivered now. He might be better for somebody else. But at that time, he was just raggedy.
Exactly.
And I had kids. And I'm up here trying to tell my, I just gonna stay with him because I want my children to have a good daddy. They ain't got no good daddy. They ain't got no good daddy. No. So how y'all feel about that? What was y'all doing? Okay, D said hers was staying with him because of the financial stuff. Ireland, yours was religious. What was yours? Give me.
Yeah, it was pretty much religious. You know, I'm a gospel singer. He was a gospel singer. I feel ashamed. And yeah.
The church. Sharita, what was yours? Financial. Okay. Mine was dumb then because he ain't had no money. I ain't had no money. Go ahead, Sean.
I'm so done with Princess.
But he was staying with me because of financial. He was staying with me because I was paying for him.
So you was paying for him and getting beat up. Y'all see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We're going to feed you and then you're going to hit us. Like,
yeah.
What is that? But I need love, right? I need love and I need your attention and I need your little 5 cents. And it's going to cost more to bury me than what I'm asking you for, really.
Exactly.
Amen.
I'm just telling you. It's going to cost more.
Telling the truth.
You know what I'm saying? And then you probably ain't going to pay for it unless it's some insurance or something involved.
No, they're going to run off with the insurance.
That's what I'm talking about. And then marry somebody else and slap on them. if they let them? Like, at what point does it stop?
When you
What
stop,
point does it
Then
end?
you stop it because
Thank
in
you.
my
when you
case,
stop.
it was like in my case, it really like wasn't the physical part wasn't ongoing. It happened like one time when it escalated, and that's at that point I had got fed up with the emotional, financial, like everything. And then I just got to a point where I snapped, and it led to a physical altercation. And then in that physical altercation, when I realized I done sliced you, I'm like, hold on, I can't be hurting you, and you can't be hurting me. If we got to get at this point, we don't need to be together. You need to go about your business, because like Sean, one of them gonna end up dead. And
My
I don't.
grandma used to say something else, y'all. She said, you got enough strength to stay, but you don't have enough strength to go.
Yeah.
You gotta love them enough to leave them.
Yeah, and it's because you have that hope that they will change. You have that hope, well, because you love them, you in love, you know. That's your boo. Keep it real, you know.
Jesus. But what do they say about us, y'all? What do it say about us?
Exactly.
I think I've gotten to a place where I tell you now, I love me more than I love you.
That's it. That's what a healing.
Period, point blank.
Like, what point? I see Didi and all of the, I see y'all saying stuff. Y'all saying such good stuff. I'm trying to share. I'm trying to keep up. I really appreciate y'all. Functioning and dysfunction is true for a lot of problems. Yes. Thank you. Yes, that is the truth. Didi said, I'm not fighting over no man. I don't care if it's my husband, because he shouldn't. Thank you, Didi. But let me tell you something, girl. It wasn't really my crazy behind. I'm talking about since I was a teenage person, never wanted to fight a woman. I was just mad at him. I promise you. I didn't care nothing about that girl. I really wanted her to take him and put him in the car and drive him all the way to her house. And it wasn't even about her. It was the fact I was mad.
It was principle. Right, I get it.
Right. I was like, what? You gonna slap me around? I'm gonna have kids, and then I'm gonna work hard, and I'm gonna pay for all this stuff myself, and then you gonna bring people over here in my car? Like, I just was, it wasn't even about her. It wasn't even about her. And then y'all, I did this show with y'all because I promise y'all, I caught a case because of this. I promise y'all. I ain't gonna go into detail right now because the Holy Spirit ain't told me, but I caught a whole case. And it made me scared that I can't get certain jobs because of it. Because I caught a whole case. Because I was done. I was tired of it. And I was like, I don't care. I'm sick of this. And I won't go through that no more. I promise you, my entire life. But I had some self-esteem issues. And I don't know why, because my mama, she said the right stuff to me. I either wanted my dad. I don't know what I wanted. I don't know what it was I needed. So I really couldn't get it from nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I needed. Maybe y'all know what it is that y'all wanted. Y'all so great. we all like stuck like this right here. Ooh. All right, well, y'all give me y'all final thoughts. We're gonna start with Sean.
Well, like I said, I almost caught a case over it too. So, it's not worth it. You have to love yourself more than you love the person. If you're in an abusive relationship, tell someone.
And don't be afraid. Thank you.
Don't be afraid. Find help. Get out of it. Because, I worked with a young lady that was in the prime of her life and was hunted down like a dog, shot and killed.
My God.
And she never got to see her kids grow up. Her son now plays professional football. She never got to see him play his first game at Auburn University or anything else. And it was all over domestic violence.
Jesus.
It's not worth it. And she never told anyone. I mean, she was telling people, the police didn't take her serious. But
we probably gonna have to do a part 2 about that.
Yeah. It's not worth it. Get out of it. Tell somebody. Get help.
Yeah, because people start not taking you serious if you keep hollering wolf, but you keep going back to the wolf.
Exactly.
I would say, yeah, that's why they had started like with the police officers. Like if you get called out so many times, then
They don't
believe you.
They don't
And
show
then
up.
domestic violence had got so out of hand that they start taking both of you to jail. The
Yeah.
woman and the man,
Yeah.
they lock both of you up, you know,
Yep.
and let y'all, you know.
Mhm.
So
But
Sharita, what's your final words, ma'am?
I think seek help. Seek help.
Mhm.
Because it's like you can become immune to it, but you got to be honest with yourself
Mm-hmm.
and
Totally honest.
totally honest. Yeah,
Yes, yes. Truth is hurt. Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
You gotta be
Deal with
honest.
no problem. Yes, D. I saw
Yes,
you.
yes.
I'm telling you, deal with the truth. Deal with
That's
the
right.
truth. Deal with you first.
Yeah,
And you won't be in certain relationships if you get to the root of what your problem is, because you won't tolerate that. You will not
That's right.
tolerate. I'm telling you, when you get to you and you be like, I'm worth more than this. I love myself more than this. I'm going to get better than this. I'm not going to put up with this. When you put,
yeah.
you don't even know, like I just told y'all, I didn't know what I wanted. So I was taking anything, anybody.
Exactly. Yeah.
My grandmama said to me one time, she said, the reason why people feel like they won the lottery is because they got you. But the problem is you creating a monster, because now that they feel like they don't won the lottery, they feel like they can spend it any kind of way.
All right, grandmama. Mm-hmm.
Grandma
I'm telling
has some
you,
wisdom, baby.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
you ain't read them big mama books?
Because look, they
Yeah,
would have never got you if you had been in your right mind. That's what she used to tell us the whole time. They
Yeah.
would have never got you if you had been in your right mind. And I used to be like, what did she mean about my right mind? What is my right mind?
We went right in the mind.
Okay, Ireland, what's yours?
If you are in a domestic violence situation, the best thing that you can do is find self-love, create a whole new norm for yourself, because I know you probably see it as your
Yes.
norm, but create a whole
Yeah.
new norm and be okay with going to counseling. Especially us as African American people, we don't like to go to counseling, but I tell you that it's the best thing that ever happened to me, and I love it. I get to spill out all my beans, tell it, and she ain't gonna tell
Yeah.
nobody. So
That
Exactly.
part.
self-love, work on yourself, go to counseling, self-care,
better go to
work on
counseling.
yourself, love yourself,
Yeah.
and
Look,
become your next
y'all,
best self.
when you
Yeah.
start getting that good stuff on your life, you be like, what was wrong with? I'm telling
Yeah.
you. We act like God got 5 people in the world. We got billions of people. We act like God made 4 men or 4 women. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you got billions of people. You ain't got to
I
do nobody. You ain't got to do it. Okay, D, what's your closing word?
I don't have no color.
Yes, you do.
You're a
Come on,
mess.
D.
So I'm gonna go the biblical way.
Okay.
I think once you know who you are and whose you are, and you just step out and you trust God, you have to trust God enough to say, okay, I'm taking my hands off of this, and I'm gonna let you do this. You gotta just be gracefully broken and go before Him and just put it on the altar. That's what I had to do. I had to go the spiritual way, because
Well, yeah, we all got to do that now.
the
Yeah.
world way, the worldly way wasn't working. I'm
Right.
talking to this. I mean, we go to therapy, we get it off our chest, but in all the midst of that, you still gotta trust God in the process.
Yeah, we all
In the
agree with that.
process.
Yes.
So that would be just trust God.
Because it started with me and God first. I have to say,
Yeah.
the only way I had the strength to even go find somebody to talk to is because God had to help me. Period.
But sometimes we get put in places where we can't do anything but trust God. They take you. All these people are taken away from you because He wants you to know, I am who I say I am.
Yes.
Like this is. I need you to call me, call my name. I'm here. This. We gonna do this together. And I had to tell somebody the other day. Do you know the Serenity Prayer? The Serenity Prayer. And have you ever read the poem where the footprints in the sand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
carry you.
Yes. You see all these footsteps, then you just got this one set of footsteps. So you just gotta, for me, that's the way I look at it. I gotta trust God.
And y'all know
in this season.
Yeah. And so what's so good about God, and y'all, I'm trying to close out, but y'all good.
We are good.
We good.
They already asked for part 2. So
I ain't trying to preach. I'm just saying.
There is some places in you that was broken that you didn't even know got broke.
Girl,
and things that happen in your mind that you didn't know happened in your mind.
Preach to the back people.
But God has a way of going up in there in them secret places. I'm telling you, because let me tell you something, and I'm gonna use Ireland for this. Ireland did a book. She has a book out. Okay. She saw herself putting this book out, and it'd be like an example of her releasing her pain. To me, what she was doing was letting out the parts of her that she could not speak through her drawings. Mm-hmm. She couldn't get them out in words, so she put them in painting. Some of us find a different way to express outlets, right? And those are those secret places, if you ask me, that God had to go in and reveal that part. Because a lot of us wasn't doing some of the things we supposed to be doing when we was in these bad relationships. Y'all know it. We were just just trying to make it. Like we didn't have time to be trying to live to our full potential. And what full what? Like I'm dying over here. You know what I'm saying? Full. Lord, you want me to preach and teach and what? And you see, I'm getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you asking me, Sean is a great leader. You're asking me to be a great leader and be over these people and care about their lives and manage these people. And my life is messed up. You're asking me to do that. But that's how he is. Because that way people can see him building, molding, and making you and, putting you back together. So then people be like, well, how did you make it through that? And you can't say nothing but God.
But God. That's right.
That's nothing but God. Because my crazy self, I'm telling y'all, I laugh now. It ain't gonna be too much. It's gonna be having me been out of shape. I'm not arguing with you. I don't really care. Mm-hmm. Like, long as it ain't my house. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I got like that. And people say, well, Princess, you don't care. Yes, I do care. But I can't care more about you than I care about myself. Like,
girl, yes, ma'am.
I gotta take care of me first, and I got to laugh. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get my stuff out. And so I thank y'all for coming on the show with me. The Holy Spirit, I promise y'all, told me to read out. I'm not gonna go into details. Y'all can Google the types of domestic violence: physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, and technological abuse. Then they said technological. So I want to make sure I say that right. Okay. I gotta give it to you because you might think you ain't being abused, and you might be. Hitting, slapping, punching, kicking, burning, strangulation, damaging personal property, refusing medical care, or for signs of people with physical abuse, controlling medication, somebody that tries to have heavy influence on you, use of weapons, name calling, insulting, blaming the partner for everything, extreme jealousy, intimidation, shaming, humiliating, isolation. Please note that if somebody is abusing you, the whole plan is to isolate you from everybody that could probably save you. Please take note. Okay,
that's right.
Sexual abuse. And then with the technical stuff, it says hacking into emails. If you're dealing with that, personal accounts, they all on your phone and stuff. Using tracking devices to keep up with where you are, what you're doing. Okay,
that's stalking, ain't it? That leads more stalking. Don't that lead more towards stalking? Folks think because they're in a relationship with you, they're supposed to have this. They're supposed to that's true.
They're supposed to know what you're doing. Why your mile hands say that you just can't work? How come you got extra 5 miles on here?
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
My ex used to leave up the toilet. Like, okay, when I clean up, do any of y'all leave up the toilet seat when y'all clean the bathrooms and stuff? He used to say that some man had come over there to pee. Okay.
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 So then I'm
Okay.
cleaning up, y'all, and my little crazy self trying to hurry and let the toilet seat down. What is that about? What is all of that? Trina?
Control.
Take the toilet seat off.
Control.
Look, take the whole toilet seat off. Throw it out.
I like that, Sean.
And at that time, y'all, guess what? I was sleeping on the floor. I'm sleeping on the floor in a relationship, and you up here talking to me about a toilet seat up. If I got a man who got to come over here and pee, I'm gonna go over to his house and sleep on his floor. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right. But we ain't smart like that. We ain't smart like that. We ain't smart like that. Okay. It said monitoring your social media, asking you questions about who's saying things to you or whatever. Demanding to know your password. Okay. Upset because you won't give them to her. Harassing you in your workplace. Controlling your finances and your money. Trying to tell you what to do with your funds. Look. Demanding to know information about your background. And I thought that was just investigation, but that's bullying, y'all. If people don't volunteer the information to you and you demanding that they tell it, right? That's controlling, right? Okay. Using something against somebody like a weakness, they said. Or like if like these situation, you know she don't have no more money to go live nowhere else, so you use that. Hold on,
Overhead.
Yeah. All right. They have a number on here: 1-866-723-3014. That's 1-866-723-3014. And that one is an organization called Women Against Abuse, and they help out different people. Y'all, we have had a good time tonight. I thank y'all for joining us on tonight. I'm going to make sure that our guests see all of this stuff. Wait. Didi said, Mike said he's being abused. Oh, Jesus. Didi, I'll call you later. Didi, no ma'am. Okay, but Didi is like me. She's my twin. So we came across a little harsh. We working on it. Amen. Praise God. All right, y'all, we are finished for tonight. I love y'all, and we're gonna have part 2. So I'm gonna reach out to these guests and see when they're available for part 2, because we do have some other things to discuss, some things that we can jump more into, because we probably didn't hit everything tonight, but this is the beginning. So for September, if you guys are available, I would like for us to do this again. Okay.
Hey, absolutely.
And I'll do it with the same people so that I won't have to start over with the stories, and we'll just have a continuation of our discussion, because I feel like it's some more stuff that we could get out to help. Y'all agree? Everybody good?
Agree. Yes, that's fine.
All right. We love y'all. I want
Good
y'all
night.
next week is wait. Don't finna hang up. Wait. Next week, I need to make sure today. My cousin Harvell is coming on here to talk about making preparations for death. He's going to talk about the cost of funerals. He's going to talk about wills, reason why you need one. He's going to talk about your children being beneficiaries, or whoever it is that you want to be beneficiaries, because for some reason we feel like we're never going to die, and most of our stuff goes to the government. And so he's going to educate us on True Feels Hurt next week to deal with death and plots and burials, and what's the typical amount of money that it takes to bury somebody, even if you're cremating them. All right, so if you will join me next week for that show, and y'all have a blessed evening. Good night, everybody.
Good night.